What's up guys, David Causer here. Welcome to my channel, World Travel Hacks. Hope you enjoy, hope everybody's doing well on this channel. Of course, I'm going to be showing you that travel content from across the world with more unique, more exotic locations with, of course, the travel tips, tricks, and travel hacks that I've learned along the way. So if that's something you're into and you're excited about, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're going to have a lot of great videos coming out in 2021. Also, I'll have a section of videos called What's Happening, where I talk about what's happening across the world. And today is actually a video about what's happening right now in USA with the USA election. And as you can see, I've got my American flag right here, wanted in the background, so came to my office on the weekend. But this video is about what's happening with this USA election and specifically the 4 dates that you need to know. Who did I vote for? It's a great question. I, yours truly, David Causer, cast my vote in Tennessee for Mr. Alright guys, so this is a video about what's happening in USA and specifically what's happening in the USA election, which I know is important, but today only, probably the one and only time I'm going to have a video about what's happening in USA right now, USA election. So what's happening USA. Before I go any farther though, of course, disclaimer number 1 on this channel, on World Travel Hacks, this is not pro any government. This is not anti any government. This is just what's happening, what I've seen, what I've heard. This is just observations. That's it. So, of course, in the comments, no hating on anybody, nothing like that. This is just information, all right? So, what is happening in USA with the election? I've got 4 dates. Count them right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dates that are important to you. If you're an international business person, maybe you work in USA or you work with USA and you live somewhere else, these are important dates to know. I recently had a conversation with some friends in Europe and they had no idea about these days other than the general election, which is November 3rd, 2020. That date has already passed. It's past Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. You're getting ready for next year. And listen, I have not been watching all of the news every single day like everybody else apparently has, so maybe this video is irrelevant. Maybe the president has already been picked. Maybe it's already been official. I'm not totally sure. So if this is wrong, sorry. But basically, there are 4 important dates. November 3rd has already happened, but this is about the other important dates. So I've got my little cheat sheet here. The 4 days you need to know, of course, November 3rd, the general election. Then there is December 14th. That is when the electors get together and they cast the electoral vote. Then there is January 6th. That's when the Senate and the House will meet together to go over the electoral vote. And then, of course, January 20th is when the new president takes office. And hey, I have a bonus date for you. One more, January 1st, 2022. And I'll talk to you about why that's important in just a minute. So those are the important dates. I know everybody watches the November 3rd date, see who comes out on top. And on that date, there's really 2 things that will happen on election night. And this has happened every 4 years, okay? One of 2 things happens every single time. There is either a clear winner on election night or the day after, or it's pretty close. And if there's a clear winner, it's pretty simple. The loser will call the other candidate and will say, hey, yep, you're right, I lost. Good luck being president. Okay, bye. And that's it. It's done, all right? That happens many times. When there's a clear winner, the loser candidate calls the other person and just concedes, all right? The other thing that can happen is everybody watches it and both candidates think I won or think I could win or think it's pretty close. And if that happens, the second scenario, then people will be arguing about this, and that's when these other 3 dates are real important. So right now, 2020, okay, we're in scenario number 2. There was not a clear winner. to the candidates. I mean, maybe if you're watching this, you think there was a clear winner. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But we are in scenario number 2 where these other 3 dates are real important. Okay? So in USA, we have what's called the Electoral College. You can watch another video on YouTube of how that works. But basically, there are 50 states. There's also District of Columbia. Each state has a certain number of points. And when you go and vote on November 3rd, you're actually not really voting for a president. You're voting for your Electoral College to pick a candidate. All right? So I live in Tennessee. I think we have like 10 or 15 electoral votes. So when I cast my ballot November 3rd in Tennessee, I'm telling my Electoral College of 10, 15 people to pick one candidate. And then later, December 14th, that's when the Electoral College will get together, and it is a big group, and they all cast all of the Electoral College numbers, all right? And the big number you're trying to get to is 270. So if you add up each state, once you get above 270, you're the winner, all right? So each state has a different number. California, I believe, is 55 electoral votes. Again, Tennessee, I think we have like 10, 15, not super big, all right? Some of the other big states have a lot. Really small states don't have a lot, but that's how it works. And again, if there's not a clear winner on election night or the day after, then the Electoral College will have to officially vote for each state, will cast their votes, and that does not happen until December 14th. All right? So then the third date is January 6th, and that is actually when the Senate and the House of the United States government will get together and they will review the Electoral College, and hopefully it's final, hopefully it's done, hopefully it's figured out. But again, that is January 6th. And then, of course, January 20th is when either the incumbent president is still at his office and nothing changes, all right, could happen, or when the other new candidate, President-elect, maybe Joe Biden, takes office and he moves into Washington, D.C. House, all right, kicks Mr. Trump out, and that happens, okay? That is January 20th, all right? And I believe at this time, because we haven't passed all of those dates, we don't for sure know who is going to be in that White House later on next year, all right? So that's what's happening. Of course, I'm not going to talk much about the candidates. I will talk about the debates. I hope you had a chance to watch the debates. I watched the first one. I didn't watch the second one. I don't know if there was a third one or not, but the first one was awesome. All right, it was pretty much Mr. Donald Trump and Mr. Joe Biden arguing with each other the whole time. Like, I don't think they talked about anything. It was all pretty much like Mr. Trump would be, "Hey, Joe Biden, you're stupid." And then Joe Biden would be like, "No, Mr. Trump, you're more stupid." And it went on for an hour and a half. It was great. You should Google that and watch that video. Hope this is informative to you. Again, if you're doing business with the United States and either one candidate or the other is good for your business or not good for your business, if it was me, I would be waiting until maybe December 14th or maybe January 6th to really figure out for sure what's happening. Of course, there's a lot of rumors right now that Mr. Donald Trump and his candidacy and his legal team is challenging the election results, and he may challenge specific states. He may say, you know, there was voter fraud here, there was voter fraud there. He's been saying that for a long time, every day, even before the voting took place, okay? Mr. Joe Biden, on the other hand, has seemed a little bit quieter about everything, just waited for the results. He didn't declare himself the winner right away, waited several days till states became more and more in favor for him, apparently, and acted maybe a little more presidential, if I explain it that way. So what do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to come down to a battle in the court system. You know, I could be wrong. Again, I have not been watching all the news. I did recently go to South America and then traveled around in the United States a little bit. So I've been off of the TV, off of the news for a little bit. But from what I can tell, there is not a clear winner yet. And maybe this is wrong. And if so, hey, I'm just going to delete this video. Not going to show it to anybody. But I personally think it is going to come down to court battle. I think it could be Supreme Court could be involved in this. United States could even say, we're going to count 48 of the 50 states, or we're going to not count this state, or we're not going to count this area because we didn't like the voting system here or the voting system there. It's 2020, guys. Listen, anything could happen. I would not be surprised at all. So hope that helps. So again, I'm going to go through those dates one more time. It's November 3rd was when everybody voted the general election. But December 14th is what we're waiting for and watching for, about when the Electoral College will get together and cast their votes, which is what matters and which picks the president. And then January 6th is when the Senate and the House will get together and they will go over that Electoral College, make sure it's confirmed, make sure it's done properly. January 20th is when the new president or the continuation of the current president will happen. And then lastly, if we're still talking about this, if there's still videos, if people are still arguing about who is the president in the United States by January 2022, I mean, come on, America, it's going to be craziness for another year. So I hope that doesn't happen, but that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure if you are new to this channel, I will have some more information about other countries. This is probably the one and only video I'll do about what's happening in USA. But should have some info about Asia and Europe coming your way pretty soon. A few countries I've got on the horizon for early next year. Lastly, who did I vote for? It's a great question. I, yours truly, David Causer, cast my vote in Tennessee for Mr. Kanye West. Come on, Kanye 2020 would be the best president. And actually in my state, in Tennessee, I think he got 11,000 votes. Kanye West was on the ballot. Sorry, Kanye, didn't win this year, but look, 2025 is going to be your year.